Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome and thanks so much for joining me for today's video on holiday perfumes. I am super excited to do this video. I had a lot of fun planning it and kind of picking out my favorite fragrances for the holiday season. I love the holidays. Other than summer, it's definitely my favorite time of year. So I picked out my favorite fragrances to wear for all different occasions. I have a mixture of everything from what you can wear when you are out Christmas shopping or wrapping presents, opening presents, Christmas morning, holiday parties, New Year's Eve, what have you. We have a bit of a mixed bag here today. So I have everything from baked good scents for the gourmand lover who likes their chocolate and cake scents. And then we also have more woodsy and rose scents for the sophisticate. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first fragrance we have here is Liaison Dangerous by Kilian, and I apologize if I mispronounced anything there. This is a beautiful woodsy rose scent. It has top notes of peach, plum, blackcurrant, and coconut. Middle notes of rose, geranium, amaretto, and cinnamon, and base notes of musk, sandalwood, oak moss, woodsy notes, vetiver, and vanilla. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, for me it's also very nostalgic from my early 20s. This fragrance really reminds me of the diptyque candle Bay or Bays. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but it has actually the same notes of this candle as well. So it has blackcurrant and rose. I'm very familiar with this candle scent because when I worked at Club Monaco in my 20s, they used to burn this candle in their flagship stores during the holiday season. So right away, this takes me back to the holidays. If you like that candle, you will absolutely love this fragrance. Again, it's like smoky, woody, fruity, and floral. You're getting rose, and you're getting smoke, and blackcurrant, and plum. It's definitely more of like a purple fruit than like a red fruit kind of fragrance. After a few minutes, you do begin to get more of the peach, but I don't really smell any coconut in this. All I can think of when I smell this is like sophisticated, elegant people. I think of cashmere sweaters adorned with silk ribbon, and I think of sparkle, and I think of tulle and feathers. This is definitely an amazing going out fragrance. I can see myself wearing this to, a night out in the city, but just as well, I can see myself wearing this the next morning, when I'm cozied up in my cashmere robe in front of the fireplace, sipping on my coffee. This fragrance really does it all. I also feel like this is kind of the perfect like chalet sort of scent. So if you go up north or you spend any time at a cottage during the holidays, this would be an amazing fragrance for that sort of atmosphere. I will mention that this fragrance is more linear. It also has a very powerful sillage, so it is commanding and sexy, yet it is soft and beautiful as well. This is a great one for the holidays. Next up, we have one of my favorites in the collection. It is Kayali's Vanilla 28. I think it's also just a fan favorite. I literally just sprayed it on this tester, just one little spritz, and I can smell it all around me, and it is absolutely delicious. The top notes on this one are vanilla orchid and jasmine, middle notes of brown sugar and tonka bean, and base notes of amber, musk, amber wood, and patchouli. For some reason, I always sneeze at first spray of this fragrance. I think there's something in the top note that my nose interprets as peppery, and I think that might be maybe the vanilla orchid. The jasmine also comes through on this as well, but again, when you're smelling it like up close or when you spray it on your wrist and you smell it, it smells different than when you smell the entire sillage on a person. So don't let the top notes fool you. This fragrance really does a 180 in terms of its scent profile. So again, it starts out a little bit sharp, maybe a little bit peppery to your nose as well, but it ends up becoming this like gourmand heavenly scent. The mid is this combination of the vanilla orchid and the tonka bean and this gorgeous mixture of the brown sugar. So to me, the mid is like cooking something on your stove, like you're flambeing something on your stove or you are caramelizing your brown sugar, getting ready to bake with it. It is this beautiful, gourmand, creamy, vanillic mixture. Just, again, I hate using this word all the time, but it is delicious. And then the base notes, you can smell the patchouli, but again, you can only really smell the patchouli if you're up close and personal. The sillage of the fragrance is more this beautiful brown sugar caramelized nectary goodness that has been soaked into a vanilla cake. Yeah. If that doesn't make you want to go out and try this fragrance, I don't know what will, especially if you love gourmand cake and like brown sugar nectar. Amazing. This is a super feminine, sweet, creamy vanillic fragrance. It has great sillage and longevity as well. And to me, this is also an easy reach. It is so perfect for, you know, your dress down days where you're wearing your jeans and a jacket and you're running some, you know, errands, maybe you're Christmas shopping, or if you are, you know, going out for drinks or lunch with your family or dinner with friends. This is a perfect fragrance for all occasions. The next one here is a new to me fragrance. It is Winter Palace by Memo Paris. I was over the moon when I tried this fragrance. Let me go ahead and take you through the notes here. So we have notes of orange, red tea, vanilla, lemon, grapefruit, amber, mate, tonka bean, bergamot, benzoin, gurgeon balsam, labdanum, styrax, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, and musk. So quite the mouthful of ingredients, but this is such a beautifully blended fragrance. So this to me is like spicy citrus tea. I can't place a citrus in here, but it's definitely a mixture of, you know, lemon and bergamot and orange. It is a bright, beautiful citrus. It's citrus heavy, but you're also getting that vanilla and you're getting that rooibos tea as well. The scent makes me think of sitting in front of a fireplace and enjoying some tea and maybe some citrus that's been in, you know, in a mince pie or something like that. After about 20 minutes, you get this almost bubblegummy note. It's kind of powdery. It reminds me a lot of the bubblegum note in Belle Rebelle's bubblegum. So it's that old-fashioned bubblegum with clove as opposed to like a new, you know, Hubba Bubba sort of bubblegum note. So the mid of this is zesty and powdery and citrusy, whereas the dry down to me is more vanillic and creamy. You get more of the amber, which gives it this kind of velvety quality to the notes. And you also get more of the red tea in the dry down. It is such a gorgeous unisex fragrance. I can absolutely see myself wearing this on Christmas morning when I am, you know, having my special coffee and opening presents. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. It doesn't necessarily need to be the holiday season when you wear this, but I think it is a great cold weather fragrance. Longevity on this is amazing. I could smell it 8 hours later, and not just like a hint, like it wasn't a skin scent. You could still smell it. It was still quite powerful on the skin and on my clothing as well. And this also comes across to me as not a very like artificial perfume. It smells very natural. Also kind of reminds me of the song Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. Not sure if any fans out there, but this definitely reminds me of that song. I'm sure you can see why if you are a fan of him. Yeah, this is just an absolutely beautiful scent. Definitely for more of a mature wearer, but this will be one that I'm reaching for this holiday season. The next fragrance is one of my favorites. It is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. So I'll go ahead and take you through the notes. I'm sure a lot of you know this fragrance already though. The top notes of tobacco leaf and spicy notes. Middle notes of vanilla, cacao, tonka bean, and tobacco blossom, and base notes of dried fruit and woodsy notes. This is like the perfect festive fragrance. Again, it's another unisex one as well. The top note that I can smell like at first spray is all smoky root beer. So imagine like you go into one of those like molecular bars and they serve you root beer and it's in like a cloche dome and there's some sort of smoke in it. It's like that smoky root beer kind of scent. And then as it settles on the skin, you get more of this like warm, you know, cozy, spicy tobacco kind of smell. The sweetness is also slightly powdery, and you're getting that from the tonka. In the mid, you lose the spicy notes, and it's replaced with vanilla and cacao and tonka beans. So it becomes more, you know, vanillic and creamy. And the deep dry down becomes even more sweet and delicious, if you can imagine it. So you still get a little bit of the tobacco, but now you are getting, you know, more of the vanilla, and you're getting more dried fruit notes. So I think this comes across as festive for me because I interpret that dried fruit note with the holiday season, because I think of chocolate covered plums, or I think of dehydrated fruits that you're gonna put, you know, in your cocktails, making mulled wine or cider and that sort of thing. So This is just a beautiful combination of that, you know, festive dried fruit and chocolate mixed with this sort of boozy root beer note. I love this fragrance so much. This is like creamy velvet vanilla on the skin. And of course I can see myself wearing this to holiday parties and dinner parties, but I think this would also make a great outdoor fragrance because the sillage on this is quite powerful. So I can see myself wearing this maybe to a Christmas market. Next up on my list here, we have By the Fireplace, which is a woodsy unisex fragrance that is sweet and captivating. Let me go ahead and take you through the notes here. So we have top notes of pink pepper, orange blossom, and cloves. Middle notes of chestnut, guaiac wood, juniper. Guaiac wood actually comes from Palo Santo, which is what is giving us that kind of quality of burnt leaves or like burnt wood. And then we also have base notes of vanilla, balsam, and cashmeran. Fragrance is so interesting because you are marrying these more masculine notes of, you know, woodsy, smoke, and incense with vanilla and marshmallow. It is unreal. It is like, reminds me of crackling wood stoves or, you know, sitting around a bonfire and you can smell like the kindling burning and the wood, and you're also toasting marshmallows. Yeah, it's a really, really good one. And of course, it is very woodsy in the top with like a hint of, you know, maybe the pink pepper coming through. What you get in the deep dry down is just so insane. It is this mouth-watering marshmallow hard candy note. You can't really smell it, like there's no sillage, it's definitely a skin scent at that point, but it is so, so good. This, to me, is cozy and it's warm and comforting. It's also nostalgic for me as well. Makes you think of cold winter days where you can, you know, smell someone's wood burning stove in, you know, off in the distance. To me, this is an everyday fall or winter scent, but I think some may find that it can lean quite heavy on the skin. So if you want to wear it at nighttime, this would be perfect to wear on a date night or to a party. Next on my list, we have an uber feminine fragrance. It is Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. One of my favorites in my collection. I feel like I say that about all of my collection. That's okay. We have top notes of neroli, bergamot, pink pepper, and coriander. Middle notes of orange blossom, jasmine, honeysuckle, rose, and iris. And base notes of sugar, caramel, vanilla, musk, civet, and labdanum. To me, this is very neroli and orange blossom forward. You have a little bit of vanilla as well, making it a bit creamy. However, as it dries down, you get way more like sugar bomb type of perfume. You smell marshmallow and sugar and caramel and vanilla. A lot of people also find this fragrance smells like bubblegum, myself included. But I do want to make a distinction here that this is like your foamy, light pink type of bubblegum. So think of like a marshmallowy bubblegum such as Bubble Tape or Big League Chew. This is not like a traditional double bubble bubblegum. It's also not like a Hubba Bubba bubblegum as well. It's that foamy, marshmallowy, soft pink bubblegum. It's also a very rich scent. You're definitely getting that caramel and the sugar. This is very decadent. It can be a little bit cloying, so I would definitely say this is a great cold weather fragrance. To me, this is also a feminine, fun, and youthful fragrance. I could definitely see myself wearing this, you know, to go for drinks with my girlfriends, maybe for a date night, but I also can't help but think of the Sugar Plum Fairy when I think of this fragrance. So I also think that this would be a great one to wear if you're going to see the Nutcracker Ballet. If you want to smell like a Terry's Chocolate Orange, this next scent is for you. It is Symphonium by Xerjoff. The top notes of this are orange and mandarin orange. We have middle notes of chocolate, cardamom, and base notes of Madagascar vanilla, Laotian oud, Thailand oud, and musk. Oh my god, it's so good. You get the spicy bitter orange in the top. It's warm and citrusy, but it's slightly mellowed out by the cardamom. Now the dry down on this is amazing. The dry down brings in a creamy milk chocolate that mixes in with the orange and the cardamom. The edges of the scent are, you know, creamy and sweet and vanillic, but the heart is this velvety, chocolatey, musky fragrance. The deep dry down of this is reminiscent of another sweet, musky vanilla scent. I'm not going to comment on how similar because I don't own it myself, but a lot of people say that it smells like pink sugar. At least the dry down smells like pink sugar. This fragrance reminds me of like a creamy chocolate orange holiday cocktail. And, you know, it's not overly sweet. It's slightly bitter because you're getting this, you know, orange rind garnish on your glass that you smell as you take a sip. It's just such a fun, Christmas time, yummy, gourmand fragrance. This has a super strong sillage and performance. It's this like citrusy, warm, spicy on the top, followed by this creamy, velvety, milk chocolate, vanilla musk dry down. It is just lovely. So the next one on my list here, I like to call this my Christmas baby. It is Kilian's Angel Share. This is like your quintessential party going out fragrance. It's one of two in this video actually. So the top note on this is cognac. The middle notes are cinnamon, tonka bean, and oak. And then we have base notes of praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. This is a unisex fragrance and it is very boozy, alcohol forward. So for more of a mature wearer for sure. And I feel like even though it's alcohol or boozy forward, it stays boozy and rich and warm the entire wear. So you absolutely get the cognac on this. Like I said, very boozy, very alcohol forward. And you also get tons of cinnamon, and I also get oak in the top as well. This one reminds me of like a boozy cinnamon bun or like an apple pie where the apples have been flambéed in a lot of alcohol beforehand. It is so, so good. This is a great warming perfume to wear to your holiday parties. I could see myself wearing this to more adult holiday events because it is very alcohol forward. It's probably not friendly for maybe taking your kids to like a holiday event. But yeah, really great for like Christmas parties, drinks at a piano bar, or even like New Year's Eve. This would be perfect for New Year's Eve. Okay, I need to get through these scents a little bit faster because I'm almost out of battery and I don't have a backup battery. So the next fragrance we have here is Philosophy's Fresh Cream. This has notes of whipped cream, milk, powdery notes, floral notes, and sweet notes. Very ambiguous notes here, but I digress. Extremely gourmand and linear fragrance. This is super sweet and creamy vanilla. It is not vanilla sandalwood, it's not vanilla pear. This is pure like whipped cream vanilla. Definitely reminds me of like baking sugar cookies or some sort of holiday dessert. This also does kind of smell like cream soda. If you really think about it, you have to train yourself to think about it, but it does have a cream soda sort of note to it. I mentioned this in another video as well, but for those that are familiar with the discontinued fragrance from the Body Shop, Brazil Nut, this has a lot of similar qualities. So if you've been looking for a dupe, I would definitely recommend trying Fresh Cream. Both of the fragrances to me smell nutty and vanillic. Yeah, I'd say this is like a pretty good dupe. If you like Brazil Nut, definitely try Fresh Cream. This is a very linear fragrance and it's also very polarizing. I definitely recommend trying it before you buy. To like this fragrance, you definitely have to like vanillic and lactonic scents. So it'd also be an amazing layering fragrance if you want to layer it up with maybe like a berry or chocolate scent. This would be amazing. This is a more casual fragrance for sure. I could see myself wearing this, you know, for cozy days, reading on the couch, or baking cookies, or having some like hot chocolate and watching a Hallmark movie. Next, we have the second of my quintessential party fragrances. This is Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, one of my all-time favorite fall winter fragrances. Oh my god, it is so amazing. I love the cherry note in this one. Go ahead and take you through the notes here. So we have top notes of black cherry, cherry liqueur, and bitter almonds. Middle notes of griotte syrup, which is like a macerated sour cherry syrup, Turkish rose, and jasmine sambac, and base notes of Peru balsam, roasted tonka beans, vetiver, sandalwood, and cedar. So 100% you smell the black cherry in the beginning of this. It is juicy and ripe. It is not at all a tart cherry. It's like one of those cocktail cherries, not like a maraschino cherry. It's like one of those boozy, syrupy cocktail cherries, like expensive Luxardo, I want to say the name is. At first sniff, it is all syrupy, juicy cherry, and then as it settles on the skin, you begin to get more of this almond fragrance. It's like a Bakewell tart with like an amaretto liqueur. As it dries down further, this does become more complex You get more of the jasmine and this like jammy Turkish rose, kind of this Turkish delight sort of note to it. And the cherry is still in the background. And then a couple hours in the dry down, you get more of the warm roasted tonka bean, you get the sandalwood, you get the smoky leather quality of the vetiver as well. So although you don't get the cherry anymore in the dry down, I think that the cherry in the top and mid really sings, and if you are a cherry lover, you have to try this fragrance. So this is a beautiful fall and winter fragrance. I honestly wear this anytime. I love wearing it to work, I love wearing it to run errands, at Christmas shop, but this also is a very elevated and sophisticated fragrance, so this would be perfect for Christmas dinner. Next on my list here is Lira by Xerjoff. So can you believe it, in my last video I said I was having trouble finding a 30 ml bottle of this, but luckily Niche Essences actually restocked, so super excited to now have Lira in my collection, and this is a great holiday fragrance. So I'll go ahead and take you through the top notes. So you have top notes of blood orange, bergamot, and lavender, middle notes of cinnamon, licorice, and jasmine, and base notes of caramel, vanilla, and musk. So good. So the top to me is this mixture of lavender and chocolate and orange. It reminds me a lot of Lush's scent profile Sleepy. So if you're familiar with the Sleepy lotion, maybe the Sleepy bath bomb, this is what it smells like, to me anyway. It's a very comforting vanilla type of scent. It's also very gourmand. I think it's very comforting because of the lavender, but this quickly becomes this gorgeous caramel cake type of fragrance. So as the lavender note disappears, it's replaced with this luscious, mouth-watering, sink your teeth into it type of caramel, and it reminds me of like a citrus cake that has some caramel on it, or maybe like a lemon cookie that's been dipped in some like dulce de leche or something like that. The longevity on this is also amazing. The sillage is amazing. In terms of longevity, I sprayed it on my skin and 12 hours later I could still smell it. It was insane. This is such an intoxicating scent, absolutely gorgeous. It is an elevated gourmand for sure, and perfect to wear for literally any holiday occasion. So next on my list is Chocolate Greedy by Montale. I unfortunately don't have a bottle with me here today. It is still in the mail. I have ordered a bottle for myself for the holiday season, but notes of cacao, vanilla, tonka bean, coffee, dried fruits, and bitter orange. This smells like opening a packet of hot chocolate, or like the dry mix for a chocolate cake. If you sniff hard enough, you can begin to get that dried fruit note, like dried plums. Again, this is not to be confused with like a ganache type of chocolate though. I feel like it is quite powdery in its scent profile. So it's not like a brownie or baked good, it's more of this powdery chocolate cacao note. It's a very soft and inviting perfume that really, you know, people are gonna wanna drink in. They're gonna wanna smell you more. Super soft, super cozy, perfect for casual wear, watching movies, making cookies, wrapping presents, that sort of thing. All right, everyone, my camera battery is flashing. That means it is time to wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to know in the comments what fragrances you are looking forward to wearing this holiday season so I can add them to my list, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.